Ever wonder how one of the biggest superhero teams in history started on the big screen? Let's rewind to the year 2000 and dive into the movie that changed comic book films forever: X-Men. Our story begins in a dark, harrowing past. A young boy named Eric Lenscher, surrounded by tragedy, discovers an incredible power within him. In a moment of pure emotion, he bends a massive metal gate with his mind. This single, terrifying event sets him on a path that will define his entire life. Years later, Eric is now the powerful and charismatic Magneto. He's seen the worst of humanity and is convinced that mutants, people like him, will never be accepted. His solution: to fight back, to dominate, to ensure mutants are the ones in control. On the other side of this belief is his old friend, Professor Charles Xavier. A powerful telepath, Xavier dreams of a world where humans and mutants can live together in peace. He believes in hope, education, and understanding. Two brilliant minds, two opposing ideologies. Their lifelong conflict is the heart of this story, a battle that will shape the future for everyone. Fast forward to the present day of the film. The secret is out. Mutants exist. They are the next stage of human evolution, born with an X gene that grants them extraordinary abilities. Some can command fire, others can heal from any wound, and some can even reshape the world with a thought. But with great power comes great fear. At a government hearing, Senator Robert Kelly voices the public's anxiety. He demands a Mutant Registration Act, a law to track and control every person with the X gene. He argues the public has a right to be protected from them. From the shadows, Magneto watches. He's heard this rhetoric before, this fear of the other, and he knows it only leads to one thing: persecution. He refuses to let history repeat itself. Meanwhile, nestled in upstate New York is a beautiful, sprawling estate. To the outside world, it's the Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters, a prestigious private academy. But its true purpose is a secret. It's a sanctuary, a safe haven where young mutants can learn to understand and control their incredible powers without fear or judgment. This is the headquarters of the X-Men. The team is led by Professor Xavier and includes Cyclops, a man who unleashes powerful optic blasts from his eyes; Storm, who can summon lightning and manipulate the weather; and Jean Grey, a gifted telepath and telekinetic whose potential is almost limitless. Professor Xavier's philosophy is simple. Mutation is not a disease. It's a key to our evolution, and it must be used for the good of all. He believes that by teaching the next generation, he can build a bridge between humans and mutants. Far from this haven, a teenage girl named Marie, who calls herself Rogue, makes a terrifying discovery. Her touch is a curse. She absorbs the life force, memories, and abilities of anyone she makes skin contact with. After accidentally putting her boyfriend in a coma, she runs away, terrified of hurting anyone else. Alone and on the run in the Canadian wilderness, she stumbles into a cage-fighting bar and meets a man as lost as she is. His name is Logan, but most people know him as Wolverine. He's a loner with a mysterious past he can't remember, an incredible healing ability, and 6 razor-sharp adamantium claws that retract from his knuckles. He's tough, cynical, and doesn't trust anyone. Seeing a fellow outcast, Logan reluctantly lets Rogue travel with him. But they aren't alone for long. They're ambushed by Sabretooth, a feral and brutal mutant who works for Magneto. The fight is savage, and Logan is outmatched. Just when it seems like it's over, a flash of lightning and a blast of energy turn the tide. Cyclops and Storm have arrived. They rescue the pair and bring them to the one place they might be safe, Xavier's school. It's here that Wolverine, a man without a past, finally comes face to face with Professor X, a man who seems to know all of his secrets. Inside the high-tech mansion, Professor Xavier reveals his mission. He explains the school, the X-Men, and the larger conflict at play. He tells a skeptical Wolverine, "You're not alone, Logan. There are others like us. We can help you understand what you are." Logan, having spent his life on the run, finds it hard to believe in this peaceful utopia. He sees a bunch of kids in matching uniforms and a man in a wheelchair talking about hope. It all seems too good to be true, but Xavier's telepathic mind senses a gathering storm. He knows Magneto and his team, the shape-shifting Mystique, the agile Toad, and the ferocious Sabretooth art, planning something big. They didn't attack Logan and Rogue by accident. They were targeted. Magneto wants them for a reason. Xavier warns his team. Magneto believes he is fighting for mutants, but his path will lead to a war he cannot win, and a world that will be destroyed for both humans and mutants. Wolverine is unsold on the whole save-the-world mission just yet, but he does feel a connection to the scared and vulnerable Rogue. He agrees to stay, not for Xavier, but to protect her. He knows a battle is coming, and deep down he understands that the outcome will determine whether mutants are seen as heroes or monsters, and whether they have a future at all. The stage is set for a clash that will define the X-Men forever. Let's start with the man who believes mutants are the next step in evolution, Magneto. He's seen the worst of humanity, and he's convinced that peace between humans and mutants is impossible unless the world is forced to change. His grand plan: he's built a massive, terrifying machine, powered by his own incredible magnetic abilities. This device is designed to unleash a powerful energy wave across the globe. His target: a summit of world leaders meeting in New York. Magneto's goal is to transform them all into mutants. His logic is simple. If the most powerful people on Earth suddenly have mutant abilities, they'll have no choice but to understand the struggle and prejudice mutants face every single day. He believes this is the only way to achieve true equality. But there's a massive flaw in his plan. The machine is dangerously unstable. Its raw power is too much for any one person to handle, and prolonged exposure could be fatal. Does Magneto care? Not in the slightest. To him, the risk is worth the reward. He's willing to sacrifice anything and anyone for his vision of a mutant-led world. Back at the Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters, Professor X senses the impending danger. He gathers his team, the X-Men, and delivers a stark warning. If he activates that device, innocent lives will be in danger. We must stop him before it's too late. The lines have been drawn, and the stage is set for a collision of ideals. While Professor X prepares his team, Magneto's most trusted and formidable ally is already making her move. I'm talking about Mystique, the blue-skinned master of disguise. She's a phantom, an operative who can become anyone she wants. Her mission is as subtle as it is critical. Infiltrate Xavier's mansion, the very heart of the X-Men's operations. Using her incredible shape-shifting ability, Mystique flawlessly transforms her appearance, slipping past the school's defenses without raising any alarms. She moves through the halls like a ghost, her target clear in her mind. Cerebro. This isn't just any room. Cerebro is the powerful machine that amplifies Professor X's telepathic abilities, allowing him to locate any mutant on the entire planet. It's the X-Men's greatest strategic advantage. Professor X, with his powerful mind, feels a flicker of unease, a sense that something is wrong within the walls of his own home. But before he can pinpoint the source of the disturbance, Mystique strikes. With cold, calculated precision, she sabotages Cerebro's complex systems. In a matter of moments, the X-Men's eyes and ears to the mutant world go dark. They are now blind, completely unaware of Magneto's exact location or the final details of his plan. It's a quiet, brilliant move that leaves the heroes at a severe disadvantage, setting the stage perfectly for Magneto's final, devastating act. As his plan moves into its final phase, Magneto comes to a chilling realization. He knows the machine he built is too powerful even for him. Activating it himself would drain his life force, a sacrifice he's not willing to make just yet. So, he needs a new power source, a living battery to channel the machine's immense energy. That's where Rogue comes in. Rogue is a young, frightened girl, just coming to terms with her extraordinary ability. She can absorb the powers, memories, and life force of anyone she touches. To Magneto, she's not a person. She's the perfect key to his plan. He believes that by using her as a conduit, he can run his machine safely, without any risk to himself. He orchestrates her capture, snatching her away from the supposed safety of the X-Men. But his logic is deeply flawed and incredibly selfish. Forcing Rogue to channel that much energy would unjust be dangerous. It would almost certainly cost her her life. When the X-Men discover Rogue has been taken, there's no hesitation. This is no longer just about stopping a villain. It's a rescue mission, led by the fierce and determined Wolverine. Alongside the focused Cyclops and the powerful Storm, the team immediately prepares for battle. Their destination is an iconic landmark that's about to become a war zone, the Statue of Liberty. It's here, high above New York City, that Magneto plans to unleash his transformative wave during the global summit, with Rogue as his unwilling sacrifice. Night descends over New York City, casting long shadows from the iconic skyline. The X-Men arrive at the Statue of Liberty, and the final confrontation begins. The air crackles with tension and raw power. Inside the torch, Wolverine, driven by his promise to protect Rogue, comes face to face with Magneto's brutal enforcer, Sabretooth. The two animalistic rivals clash in an intense, ferocious battle of claws and fury. Meanwhile, on the ground below, Cyclops and Storm work together as a seamless unit. They use their powers not just to fight Magneto's forces, but to protect the innocent civilians caught in the crossfire. Cyclops unleashes precise optic blasts, while Storm commands the elements, creating diversions and shields. High above them all, inside Lady Liberty's crown, the machine whirs to life. Green energy swirls and pulses as Magneto, floating triumphantly, begins to power up his device using Rogue's stolen life force. He can taste victory. He believes his dream of a mutant world is just moments away from becoming a reality. But he underestimates the X-Men's resolve, fueled by a relentless determination to save Rogue. Wolverine fights his way to the top, just as the machine reaches its peak and the massive energy surge is about to erupt across the city. Wolverine manages to destroy the device. He frees Rogue from its clutches, stopping the cataclysmic wave at the last possible second. The machine sputters and dies. For now, peace returns to the city. In the days that follow, a fragile sense of calm settles over the Xavier mansion. Professor X recovers from the injuries he sustained during the conflict. Rogue is safe, her strength slowly returning, and a feeling of hope begins to blossom once again among the students. The world was saved, but the ideological war is far from over. The film leaves us with a haunting echo of Magneto's words to his old friend, Charles Xavier. "We are the future, Charles, not them." Professor X, ever the optimist, replies with a quiet but firm certainty. "We'll see, old friend. Perhaps there's still hope, even for you." Our final shot is of Magneto, now a prisoner. He's held in a cell made entirely of plastic, a cage designed to neutralize his magnetic powers. He sits alone, silently playing a game of chess with invisible pieces on a glass board, already planning his next move. And so, the first chapter of the X-Men saga concludes. It doesn't end with a clear victory or defeat, but with a profound and lingering question. Can humans and mutants ever truly coexist in peace? Or is conflict inevitable? This question would go on to define the entire franchise. Thanks so much for watching.